Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Colin. I'm CEO of a company here in San Jose called MODRIA. And I think I have the distinction of being one of the few non-lawyers who's going to be talking with you this morning. So I'd like to take the opportunity to step back and kind of ask us about first principles. What is the law really about? We're here talking about reinventing the law. But the law is a how. The question is, what is the problem we're really trying to solve? So I'd like to start with a quote from Carl Llewellyn that I think summarizes it pretty well. Now, I'm what they call an NLM, a non-lawyer mediator. So I'm from the dispute resolution field. And what Carl says is fundamentally the law is about resolving and preventing disputes. And when you think about disputes, the law is a way that we can tackle this problem, but there are many other creative ways that we can try and tackle it too. And that's kind of what the dispute resolution field brings. Now, my expertise is something called online dispute resolution. Online dispute resolution is the use of information, communication, and information technology to help people get their disputes resolved or prevent those disputes. So many of you are probably very familiar with ADR. You can think about ODR as ADR accelerated by technology. And technology can do some pretty incredible things when it's married with dispute resolution. Now, I was the first director of online dispute resolution at eBay and PayPal. And at eBay and PayPal, we actually resolve 60 million disputes per year. Now, the challenges we faced was the legal system was essentially irrelevant for these disputes. These disputes were too low value, they crossed borders, enforcement was too complex, but consumers were empowered. They wanted quick resolutions, and the legal system couldn't handle it. ODR works the way that the internet works. All the resolutions can be dispersed into contracts. Jurisdictions don't matter, and you can even automate it through software. So this is a screenshot from eBay, the resolution center. Every single user on eBay and PayPal has access to a resolution center. 50% of those 60 million disputes that came in at eBay and PayPal were resolved amicably, and 90% of those disputes were resolved in software only. And this was an extrajudicial process. It's not enforceable in a court of law, but 99.999% of these cases never made it to a court. So what we see is international organizations are embracing the same types of techniques that eBay has embraced. UNCITRAL has an online dispute resolution working group that's designing a global cross-border redress system, and the EU has announced that they're going to build a region-wide online dispute resolution system that all member states have to opt into by 2015 for these cross-border, low-value disputes. So, in comes MODRIA. MODRIA stands for Modular Online Dispute Resolution Implementation Assistance. We've actually spun out the technology from eBay and PayPal, and we're now applying it in a bunch of different areas beyond e-commerce and payments. We can do algorithmic resolutions, we can do crowdsourced resolutions, we have some patents through eBay, but it is a highly automatable system. And as I said, MODRIA stands for Modular Online Dispute Resolution. We built a series of 4 modules: problem diagnosis, automated negotiation, mediation, and arbitration. These modules work like Legos, and we can click them together and dynamically build appropriate resolution flows for a wide variety of different kinds of disputes. And you can even imagine when you're dealing with 60 million disputes, at eBay we call that drinking from the fire hose. These modules work kind of like filters, and as that incredible volume of cases comes in the door, they can filter out and resolve cases at each phase. So the first 2 modules are software only. So we can actually resolve 50, 60, 70% of the cases before we get into the human-powered modules like mediation and arbitration. And because arbitration, we get resolution in 100% of cases, every single case gets addressed. And you can scale these systems in a much more efficient way than you can scale legal models. So we have a bunch of great partners who we're working with. The CPR Institute for Dispute Resolution in New York is our partner in building commercial arbitration. And we're working with some high dollar value cases there, but also now with the AT&T Concepcion decision from last year and this coming Amex decision, I think we're going to see a lot more pre-dispute binding arbitration clauses written into contracts that are going to mandate private resolution processes like this. And for low dollar value cases, ODR may be the only solution. Mediation, we're actually doing some very creative things in mediation. We have a platform that allows custom intake, online negotiation, file sharing, video and audio conferencing. We're partnering with the Association for Conflict Resolution. We're working with LegalZoom on a divorce mediation product. And we find it really meets the needs of the consumers that come in looking for a mutually acceptable resolution to their problems. We're also doing a lot of work in the government context. Right now, we're very focused on property tax assessment appeals. And we're working with lots of courts that handle millions of these appeals every year. We can do it in a very streamlined way, and consumers and users and citizens who are used to one-click resolutions, they expect that these systems will be available to them, and they don't want to bother getting a lawyer, going to court, getting agents. They want to get these things resolved quickly. And also, we're doing some very creative things that technology enables. This is a product that we run in the Netherlands for Marktplaats. It's actually a crowdsourced jury where you can take users who come in, are empaneled as online jurors, and when buyers and sellers have disputes, it goes to the panel of jurors, they all vote, and whoever wins the majority of the jury wins the case, and it's enforced by Marktplaats. So there are some very powerful things you can do when you start to think beyond the legal model. So net-net, I believe that justice on the internet is going to look a lot more like dispute resolution than it does like the law. Consumers and citizens are demanding fast redress. And you're going to see these types of mechanisms that are already very common at Amazon and Buy.com and eBay. They're going to start to move into traditional legal disputes, higher value cases. So thank you very much for the time, and let's have a great day.